Hi everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to this session. Greetings from Mercy Technologies. Today we are going to see about ArrayList, right? In the previous sessions, we have seen about collection API. So today what we will do is, as part of this session, we will see about introduction about arrays, why we need arrays, why the arrays, come into picture in the Java programming language, and what are the advantages and features of arrays, and what are the disadvantages of arrays, right? So how we are going to overcome disadvantages, uh, you know, of the arrays, right? Then finally, we will be going with array list. What are the advantages and benefits over arrays? Then we will go with hands-on code, right? So this is what our agenda. So I would like to introduce about myself before starting our session. So, myself Sashi Kumar, and I am currently working in Bangalore. So I'm a MCA passed out, and I have around 13 plus years in the IT industry. Currently, I work in one of the product-based IT organization as a technical architect, and I handle around six types of applications, six projects. Mostly, I work related payments applications, and I am managing around 13 plus members in my team. There are three teams, three team members are there. In total, three teams. So overall, I'm managing around 13 plus members. So if you see my history, I worked with various organizations like Verifone India Private Limited, ITC Infotech, Biz Sciences, Neobytes. I worked in big MNCs as well as I worked in startup as well. So, along with my IT profession as a software engineer or software technical architect, so I do, we do have our own educational company where a set of software engineers, who joined along with me, and we started an educational company called Mercy Technologies. So here we teach various courses. We train the freshers and college students and even working people as well to familiarize with programming languages, right? So like Java, Python, we teach very in depth, hands-on and real time, so that the students or working people, they could able to understand go very in depth, and they could able to get placed in top IT companies, right? So this is what the brief introduction about me. So when we move further, then I'll be sharing few things, whenever wherever it's necessary, right? So what we are going to do today is we are going to see array list, right? So as part of this, we'll be seeing like what is arrays and what are the disadvantages of arrays, and why we are going for array list, and eagle eye view we are going to see about collection API, and finally we'll be going with the coding programs, right? So you might be knowing about arrays, right? Arrays is the familiar topic in most of the programming language, right? C, C++, Java, Python, right? Various programming languages are having arrays, right? So why we need to go for arrays, right? You might be knowing that arrays, it is used to store multiple values, right? So why arrays is needed? We will see that, right? So consider we are going to use IDE called uh, you know STS, Spring Tool Suite. I can say again what is IDE. So usually Java applications or programs in the earlier days we used to develop using Notepad, right? So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. So what it means? It means it is giving an environment to develop your applications or projects, right? By using IDEs, so we can easily develop the applications, right? So, instead of taking care of organizing, structuring various files, right? You might be having, hundreds of Java files, images, CSS file, HTML file, JavaScript file. But, instead of we are managing, this IDE gives the facility to manage all the files, and to work in a easy manner. That's why we are going with IDEs. So there are various companies, they have introduced different types of IDEs in which we can develop various programs. One of them famous are like Eclipse. Eclipse is one of the IDE. So that we are going to see. Then second one is STS. STS is nothing but Spring Tool Suite. So what the Spring developers they have done is they have taken the Eclipse. It is a open source code. So on top of Eclipse, they developed Spring Tool Suite. This is to support enterprise applications, right? Spring Boot applications. Then there is another ID called IntelliJ. So IntelliJ is from uh, so this is also one of the famous IDE. Even I have used IntelliJ, STS, and Eclipse. Even we can use Visual Studio Code as well. So whichever you are comfortable, so you can use any one of the IDE, right? So we are going to use this IDE called STS, Spring Tool Suite. The ID is nothing but this is the ID. In case if you want to know more details, hey, how to download this IDE, how to install, how to use it, then you can watch our previous videos in our YouTube channel. So in YouTube, if you go and search Mercy Technologies, you will be finding one channel called Mercy Technologies. Here we have explained how to download Java, JDK, and all the necessary softwares, mainly IDEs, right? Eclipse or Spring Tools to develop our Java applications. So let's go back. So we are going to use this ID. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new class. How can I create a new class? It's simple. I can go with file, new, go with class, right? File, new, class. So how I'm going? It's simple. File, new, class, right? For creating a new class, we are going with file, new class. You can give any package name, or you can give package name. It's really not needed, but if you give, that is good. And the class name you can give, say for example, I can give my class one, right? So if you observe, the class name should be meaningful enough, right? And it should start with uppercase, right? Uppercase. Let's go with my program, right? My program dot Java, right? So if you observe, it is starting with uppercase and following camel case, right? Class name always should start with uppercase, right? Another important point is class name should start with uppercase, right? So even you can give lowercase also, but it is not a good idea because Java developers, JDK developers, they have defined set of rules and regulations. So it is always advisable to give the class name in uppercase. Then you can click finish. So if you observe, there is a package got created com.mercy.angel. Under that you are having my program, right? Now what I will do, we are going to develop your application here, right? Let's go with main method, public static void main. So instead of typing public static void main, the IDE gives facility like you can just type main control space, right? Control space, then give enter. If you see now, right, automatically what happens? Automatically the main method signature has come, right? Let me remove again. Let me do it. MAIN control space. You are seeing main method, right? Just double click. You got the main method, right? So what we are going to do is let's develop one hello world program here, right? Let's develop one hello world program here. So what I am going to do is I can give like int counter equal to counter equal to 10, right? I'm giving one variable called counter, right? So this is the variable and it is storing 10, right? I'm creating an integer variable, right? So, and counter is the variable name and it is storing 10, right? So what I'm going to do, same I am printing SYSO. If I press control space, you can get system.out.println. Same counter, I am going to print it. Let's run this application and see what it gives, right? You run it as a Java application. See, you got the result 10. So this is a variable. So what is variable? You guys know, right? Variable is nothing but it is storing one value at a time, right? In case if I store counter equal to 20, what happens? 10 will be replaced, right? And 20 will be coming here, right? 20 will be coming here, correct? Now, if I run, what output I'll be getting? See, I'll be getting first 10 was there. Then when I stored 20, 20 is replaced, correct? 20 is replaced. That's why we are going for, the variable as limitations, right? The variable as limitations. So basically it can store only one value at a time, right? Only one value at a time, right? So if I store one more value, then previous value is removed, right? Then previous value is removed, correct? Let's go with variable can store only one value at a time, right? If I store second value, what happens? Previous value is getting erased, right? And newer value is stored, right? So this is the disadvantage of variable. Say for example, you want to store multiple variables of a same data type, right? You want to store multiple data types, right? Multiple values of a same data type, correct? So in that case, we can go with arrays, right? You can go with arrays. Now, if you see our definition, array it is used to store multiple values of the same type. If it is integer type, you can store any number of values, right? So let's go with one array and see how we can able to create an array and how we can uh, use that array, right? So what I'm going to do again, let me go with a new class, right? What I'm going to do, let me go with file, new class. Let's create first class. So how we can create first class? It's simple, right? My array, right? My array dot java, right? Let it be under com.mercy.angel. Let's click finish, right? Now what we will do? Let's go with main method main control space. You got the main method now, correct? Now you know how to declare an array. So you can give any name, right? Say for example numbers, right? Numbers is the meaningful name. So this array is going to store different types of numbers, right? So what we are trying to do, we are declaring an array and we are trying to initializing an array, right? So how we can initialize an array? So what we are doing is simple. So we are declaring integer type array, correct? What we are doing? We are typing integer type array, correct? So by using this array, so we can create any number of arrays, right? We can store any number of values, correct? So what we are doing is you have many options. One is like directly you can initialize values. Say for example, 100, 300, 200, 400 and 500, right? So what you have done is simple. So you have created an array and you have initialized that array variable, right? So creating an array, right? So if you observe, numbers is the array, it is storing 5 elements, right? And one main feature of array is it is fixed size, right? So once the array is created, then it is a fixed size, correct? So you cannot change the size of an array, correct? You cannot change the size of an array, correct? Say for example, even you can declare something like this, right? Int n1 equal to, right? So we can define new int of 5, right? New int of 5. So what we have done is let's give array here, right? Now this is how you can create an array, right? 5 spaces are getting allocated for this array, right? So what we have done is here, then you can initialize values one by one. But here it is what we are doing in single line itself. We are creating an array for five elements and we are initializing that array as well, right? So you can store only specific elements, right? Only similar type. If it is integer, you can store only integer type, right? Only integer type. one main disadvantage is it is fixed size. In future, consider you want to store sixth element. Really, you cannot store the sixth element, right? You cannot store the sixth element, correct? So this is the main disadvantages of an array, correct? So always you need to define the size, right? You need to come to know. Consider you are defining very big size, but you are storing only few values. Then memory is getting wasted, right? So it is not good. It is really not good, correct? So again, let's go back. So it is a fixed size. Once array is created, it cannot be changed. And we can access the element by using index, right? And homogeneous elements means only similar type. If it is int array, you can store only int array. If it is a string array, you can only store string object, right? So then we will go like what are the disadvantages, right? So disadvantages over array. As we seen, like it is a fixed size. So to overcome this, we are going with collection API and array list, right? So by using array list or collection API, automatically array list is a growable, right? Array list is a growable, correct? So let's go and create one array list program, right? What I will do, again, I will go with file, new class, right? How can I name? Yes, this is how I can give the naming, correct? Say for example, my array list 1.java, right? So this is the class name. Class name should start with uppercase. You guys already know. Let's finish. Click finish. Now if you observe, we have created one new class, right? By the help of editor, right? By the help of IDE, right? STS, right? Spring Tool Suite. Now let's go with main method, Control N. So what I'm going to do is there are, I often say that programming is really easy and Java is very, very easy because you are not going to develop from the scratch, right? Already JDK developers, what they have done is they have developed the classes, methods, everything. So what our job is simple. Our job is to just call the method, right? To make use of the functionality which has written already by JDK developers, right? They already written, right? The logic, everything. So we are going to make use of it. Let me open one predefined class called ArrayList, right? See this ArrayList class, if you observe. So it is developed by JDK developers who are the inventor or author of Java, right? If you observe Josh Block, he has written many books. Okay, he is very famous for collection API. Even if you have time, right, after the class, you can just Google about Josh Block, right? You can read more things about him. So he is the main contributor for collection API framework. So collection API, whatever session you guys are attending, it is the number one important topic in the Java programming language, right? So what he has done is these people, they have written a predefined class called ArrayList. They only have written. If you observe how many lines of code they have written, see, ArrayList itself 1700 lines, right? So they have written. It's simple. So this ArrayList is nothing but arrays are having many drawbacks, right? One is like size, right? So the size once we defined in arrays, Java arrays, so it cannot be increased or decreased. So by using array list, we can overcome that. Okay. So what happens? How we can create an array list? Simple. What we can do is we can define array list. New. We will how we can create by using new keyword, right? New array list, right? How we can create an object? Simple, right? Before going to this, how usually we will create a typical Java object, right? We'll go with new class name. Say for example, you are having a employee called, you know, consider if you have an employee class called, class called employee, then what you will do? You will basically use new keyword, right? This is object creation, right? Second one is you will create a reference which is used to point for employee type object, right? Third one is you will link the object and the reference variable. Now, if you observe, you have created an object and it is a employee type. It is created physically in the heap memory. In case if you want to know more details, around 3 weeks before, we have taken one session called class and object. You can go through that video. If you want to know that video, again, it is there in our YouTube channel, Mercy Technologies, class and object. You can go and you can see it. It is around 1 to 1.5 hour video. You can watch it, right? So this is how you can create a typical object, right? For any class, right? Similar way, you can create for arrays as well. How we can use new, for which class you are going to create? Array list, right? You can type array list, right? So this is how, right? So you can open bracket, close bracket. This is how you can create object to array list. So who is going to point? Again, you can copy paste. It is going to point by array list type reference variable, right? I can type array list of, right? Array list of, let it be empty. I can give something called, say for example, numbers. Again, let it be meaningful name, right? Numbers, right? So this is the reference variable. Again, why it is giving compile time error? It is simple. It is wants to know what type of variable you are going to store, right? What type of variable or values you are going to store. What is the data type basically? That's what it is asking. You can type integer type. If you want to store integer type variables, then you can type integer type, correct? You can type integer type, right? Correct. So again, this is very simple. Similar way, how we have created object, new employee of, similar way, we are creating an object to array list, and E1 is the reference variable which is pointing employee type object. Similar way, numbers is the reference variable which is pointing array list type class, array list type object, right? And what is this? Numbers is a data type of integer type, right? It can store integer type values, right? It's simple. Now just see the documentation, right? See, once you go here, they have said very clearly, right? Constructs an empty list with an initial capacity of 10. So what it means? It means when this array list object is created, it is created with the size of 10. You can store 10 values, right? So when you want to store the 11th value, automatically the size will be increased, right? When you are trying to store the 11th variable, automatically size will be increased based on some algorithm, right? So they have defined it, correct? So consider like again you are trying to add 20, 30 elements. Again the size will be keep increasing, right? With the limited spaces. So this is the main advantages, right? In arrays, once arrays is created, it is fixed size and it cannot be changed, right? Even either you cannot decrease or increase, but if using collection API or array list, it can dynamically grow, right? If more elements you are adding, dynamically it grow. If you are deleting more and more elements, automatically it will be shrink, right? So you no need to worry. So that is the main facility of using array list, correct? So let's go with our next one. So we have created an array list object. So what we are doing here, it's simple, creating an array list object, right? And the initial capacity is 10. They have written the documentation, constructs an empty list with an initial capacity of 10, correct? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the elements. Either you can add something like this, numbers dot add. They have defined one method called add method. You just go and see here inside array list, appends the specified element to the end of the list. Whatever element we are passing, number we are passing, that is added at the end, correct? So let's go back and see. Now let's print the array also. SYSO, just print the reference name. I'm just copying this. Same I am pasting it here, right? It's very simple. What you are doing, you are trying to print it. Let's run it. Let's run as a Java application. You see it. It is created on array list. How many elements are there? Only one element, that is 300. Consider you are trying to add multiple elements, right? 300, right? Something like this. You are trying to add few more elements, 200, 500, 100, 400, right? Now let's run it in debug mode. Guys, listen very carefully. This point is very, very important, right? Debugging mode, right? Debugging mode. So why we need debugging mode? Consider in a real-time application, you know, there are some issues in our application, then you want to debug, right? You really want to know where the issue is occurring exactly. So these IDEs, right, like IntelliJ or STS, right, Eclipse, they are giving facility, they can, you can run your application in debugging mode. How to run? It's simple. You can double click here. When you are double clicking here, let me delete this. There is a bubble, small bubble you are seeing, right? There is a bubble. That's all. Then you can go with run debug as Java application, right? Again, I am telling you can first set the debug point, double click. There is a small blue color bubble. So once you get the bubble, you can go with run debug, done debug as Java application. Now you give the perspective, yes. Now if you observe, the execution started. When you are just directly running, completely you are getting the output, right? Let me run the complete thing. Completely you are getting the output. Your program is getting executed at one shot. But when you are running in debug mode, it is executing step by step, right? Let's go with run debug as Java application, right? See, it is started here. Then press F6. Again, we have explained past about this debugging mode and all. Press F6. See, one array list got created. Now what you are trying to do? You are adding first element. See the array list, now it is empty. When your mouse hovering it, it's empty. Empty array list. No numbers are added, right? Again, when I press F6. See, now you mouse over 300 got added, right? Now let's run F6. See how many numbers? 300 and 200. Now again let me press F6. Now it is 300, 200, 500, right? So what you are trying to do, trying to understand is we could able to run our application step by step, line by line, right? In case if you want to know where exactly you have the problem, then by using this, you can able to identify, correct? By using this, you can able to identify, correct? So when you see this, it's very simple program, right? You just creating an array list object, and what you are doing is you are adding elements to the array list, right? You guys are able to get it. I know that many people are taking notes when I teach the session. That's really good. If you take the notes, that's really good, right? You can watch the recording as well so that you'll be getting more clarity, right? So what we are doing is first we are creating an array list object, then we are adding multiple elements. The elements data type is nothing but integer type, 300, 200. So we have added 5 elements. Finally, we are printing. Let's run at one shot. See, this array list is having 5 elements and it is preserving insertion order. The same way you are inserting the element, same way it is getting added. That's what this one gives the thing, right? Appends the specified element to the end of the list. Whatever element you are adding, it is getting added at the end, correct? At the end only it is getting added, right? So this is the basic array list, basic, very basic program. This is how you can add the element. Again, let's go through what are the things we have done. Simple. We have created an array list object, right? What we have done, we have created array list object, right? And the reference is pointing by number. Either you can give numbers or you can give any name. Let's give, n1. That is also fine, right? See, n1. So it is a reference variable. This is not a normal variable. It is a pointer or something which is used to point, refer this physical array list object, right? So first we have created the array list. After creating the array list, what we have done? So we added 5 integer elements, right? Integer elements. And what we have done, we are printing, right? Printing the array list. So when we are printing the array list, it is printing all the elements. This printing is nothing but printing all the elements. You are seeing the output, right? When we run, we are printing all the elements. Can you guys able to follow me? Just in a reply, WhatsApp me whether you are really able to follow me. Yeah, thanks for your replies. Shall you go ahead? Perfect. Perfect. So, right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one more program, right? One more program. It's simple. Again, let's go with file, new, right? Under SRC, let's switch into Java's perspective. Let's go to file, new, class, right? Let's go with class. I can say my array list 2, right? So again we have created one more new class, right? So what I'm going to do, simple. Let me go with a main method. So in the previous program, we have seen about adding the integer numbers, right? Let's create string number, right? String type of array list. Again, let me copy paste same thing. Instead of developing from the scratch, let me copy paste. It is quite simple. So instead of creating integer type, I want to create string type. So let me type only string. That is simple, right? Very simple. Now let me change this with some meaningful names, right? So this is the array list we have created. This can able to store string type objects. Only string type objects we can store, right? We cannot store any integer type. Other than string, you cannot store anything. It is type specific, right? It is type specific, right? So similar way, so this array point is we are created string type object, correct? So now what we are going to do, we are going to add string type elements. Simple. Again, let me copy paste. Let me copy paste, right? So what we are doing is we are adding string object, right? Either you can say string object or elements, both are same, right? Let me change the reference name. I cannot add a integer type because it will give compile time error. The method is not applicable, right? So we can add only string type. You can string object you can represent using double quotes. Let me add mercy, right? Now that's all, right? Adding string object or string elements inside array list, correct? String elements inside array list, correct? Finally, what we are doing, we are printing the array list name, right? Let's print array list names, right? Let's run. This is quite easy, right? Very, very simple. What you have done? 3 step again. Listen, we created an array list which is used to store string type object. Then we added string type element, started adding string objects, printing the array list, right? Started adding elements and printing it. Let's add a few more elements, right? Mercy. Let's give some other name. Let's go with Angel, right? David, right? Paul. Let's go with Stanley, right? So these are the names, right? So again, what we are doing, first one is creating the array list object, which can able to store string objects, and we are adding string objects or string elements inside that array list. You can add any number of objects. It can be 100 or thousands because automatically array list is a dynamic arrays, right? Automatically it can able to increase the size, correct? Let's run it. Even we can run this as a debug mode. Double click the bug button, right? Yes, switch it. Now you press F6. Physical array is created with the empty, right? With the initial capacity of 10. Let's run. First element we have added. Mercy has come into picture, right? Let's run F6. Second element is getting added, right? F6. Third element, right? F6, F6. Finally, if you are printing, you'll be getting all 5, right? When you see names, it has alpha A. So what we have seen, it's very, very simple. In the previous example, we seen how to store integer type. In the second example, we have seen like how to store string type objects, right? Similar way, you can store double, boolean, whatever it is, right? It can even you can store employee type as well, right? User defined objects also you can store, right? That is advanced topics that we will not go now. So we will see basic things, remaining things you guys can experiment either by yourself. In case if you need our help, we can go for it, right? And let's go with the again with the presentation. So main limitation over which we overcome is size, right? What is the second one? Second one is we will see it has lack of built-in methods. If you see in arrays, arrays are having very basic methods, right? So in case if you want to do more things, you need to write your own methods, right? Whereas in collection API or array list, right? It has many built-in methods, so we can easily, sorting, searching, shuffling, many things are deleting particular item, right? Deleting the first element, last element, right? Many inbuilt methods are there. This is very important. So let's go with one more as well. Then we will deeper, right? So in arrays, if you observe, it supports only basic data structure, right? Arrays concepts only it supports, it is stored with the index, right? Whatever element you are adding, it will be added at the end, right? Even you can specify which index you want to do it, right? It is not supporting any other data structure like linked list, map, right, tree, right? But if you go with the collection API, it has many data structure, independently it is there, right? Map, tree map, set, linked dash map, vector, right? Many inbuilt data structures are there. And these 3 points I have given to make you to understand, even if you are not getting 100 percentage, that is okay. But just you can understand that one is the size, second one is it has a very less methods, whereas in collection API and array list, which has many methods, and array list arrays supports only few, basic data structures, whereas in collection API it provides many, right? Many, right? So I will not go with this. So this is what, right? So ArrayList is part of Java collection framework. Collection API is one of the main topic in Java. Under that, one subtopic is ArrayList, right? So what we are seeing today is ArrayList. So what is the main benefit? Automatically the size will be grow or shrink, right? And we can use it very easily, right? That we will see, right? It has many built-in methods. So one of the thing what we are going to do is now we are going to see how to sort array list object, right? The few things we are going to see. One is like sorting the elements, right? Sorting the elements, that we are going to see it. Then how can I search particular element? Search particular element in the array list, right? In the array list. This is the second one we are going to see. Third one, we are going to see how to find the maximum element, bigger number, right? How to find the maximum element or bigger element, right? Bigger element in the array list, correct? And also we are going to see how to find the small element, right? How to find the small element. The fourth point is how to find the small element or minimum element, finding the smaller or minimum. These are the programs we are going to see hands on. If you understood whatever we covered so far, this will be really easy for you guys, right? This will be really easy. So let's go and create one more let's go and see one more program. Let's go with this one, right? So we already have one program called, this is for integer type arrays, right? So what we have to do is simple, right? Let me enlarge it. So this is the program, we already have it. It has multiple elements, but if you see the order is randomly, it is there. We have inserted 300, 200, 500, 100 and 400. So you want to sort this element. What is sorting? Sorting is nothing but, when you are sorting means you are making it in ascending order or descending order, right? So in case if you want to sort, this is the element. How to sort? It's simple. How to sort? It's simple, right? It is 300 200 means first 100 will come, then 200, then 300, then 400. Natural sorting, right? Ascending order, right? Descending order means 500 400 300 200 100. This you guys already aware, right? So we are going to see how to sort. This is an unsorted array, right? This is an unsorted array, correct? So, but below is the one sorted array. We will see how we are going to, sorted array list, right? How we are going to sort. Again, it is simple. You no need to worry about writing the logic, you either mid sort or selection sort or insertion sort, you no need to really worry about it. Already JDK developers, they have built predefined methods, right? So if you go to collections class, there is a class called collections. Let's type, right? Collections class. See here, there is a class called java.util. We are seeing the second class. First class we have seen is ArrayList, right? First class what we have seen is ArrayList, predefined class developed by Josh Block and Neil Gafter, right? So similar way, collection is also one of the predefined class. See, if you observe, same authors only, they have written the class. If you observe, they only developed, 5,000 lines of code, right? So they only written everything. So we are going to make use of this class, right? What we need is simple. Only you need to know the class name and method name, right? If you observe the documentation, this class consists exclusively of static methods, right? This class basically has many static methods, for performing many things, right? Many algorithm they have used it, they defined it. If you observe, there is a method called sort method, right? If you observe, there is a method called sort method. We are going to make use of this method. What this method is going to do? Simple. Let's see the documentation. Sort the specified list into ascending order. So it is going to sort the elements into ascending order, right? Very, very simple. This method is going to sort it in ascending order, right? That is the documentation. We are going to call this method. This is a static method. You really no need to worry how it sort, what it sort. They have defined many things, right? See, these are the code they have written. They are taking, uh, they are internally they are calling array start sort method. Again, many logics are there. Time dot sort. You really no need to worry. They have considered the best algorithms, right, to write this sort method. You really no need to worry what is there inside, what they have written. Really, I'm telling, really you no need to worry at all, right? What we do is simple. Again, let me print. This is before sorting, right? Before sorting, I'm just putting some, meaningful text. So I'm going to write it, right? So where we are, sorry, I might be, mixing here and there. This is the program, right? So what we are going to do is we are just printing something, right? What we are doing, just we are printing before sorting, right? Before sorting. So let's run this program. See, before sorting, the value is 300, 200, 500, 100, 400, right? The way we inserted, similar way, the array list object is stored, right? Integer types of objects stored in the array list. Now, what I'm going to do? I am going to call that method. Use the class name. What is the class name? Simple. Collections. Let me copy paste that class. Collections. Copy. Right? Copy, and let's make use of that class here. Collections dot, which method we are going to call? Sort method. It is expecting an argument. What is that argument? Pass the reference variable, array list variable. Simple. That's all. Your job is done. You no need to do anything else. Sorting is done. Now let's print same thing we are going to print after sorting. Just meaningful message I am printing. Let's run it in debug mode. Guys, listen very carefully. It's very, very easy and interesting, right? See, we have created one new array list, right? We are creating the new array list F6. Array list, how many objects are there now? 0. We are adding one by one. 5 elements we added and we are printing as well, right? How many elements are there? See the order 300, 200, 500, 100, 400. What we are doing is simple. We are calling collections.sort, right? When we call collections.sort, automatically just see what happens. Simple, automatically, right? Collections.sort methods automatically what it does, it is performing the sorting operation. We got our result, right? It's very easy, right? We did not do anything else. We did not write any logic, any sorting logic we did not write. Java developer job is very, very simple. Just make use of the predefined methods. Sorts the specified list into ascending order, right? According to the natural ordering of its elements, right? That's all. Only one line, right? Sorting, calling the, only you need to know the class name and method name, right? Calling the sort method, which sorts in ascending order, right? Ascending order, right? Very, very simple. Guys, let me repeat the program again. We are creating an array list, empty array list, right, with the new keyword. One empty array list object is created with the initial capacity of 10. Then we are adding the objects, right? Integer objects randomly. Then we are calling, printing it. Then we are calling the sort method. When you are calling the sort method, what you need to do is you need to give the array list reference variable, pointer variable name, right? Then it will sort, right? And when you are printing, automatically you will get the new result. Please let me know if you understood 100%. Let's go to the next program. You can reply in WhatsApp. Yeah, thanks for your replies, guys. I'm getting many replies. Perfect. So similar way, I'm going to sort for string object as well. So I'm going to copy the same lines of code, right? I'm going to copy here. Again, I'm going to paste it here, right? I'm going to paste it here, right? So instead of number, the reference variable name here it is names. I'm going to replace, right? It's very simple, right? So again, if you observe, it's very simple. We are going to call same method, same class, exactly same code. We are not going to do anything, right? Let me run it in debug mode again. Listen very carefully. We are started our program, right? So when we are running it, F6, if you observe, right? How many different types of elements are, stored, right? When you observe names, right? Mercy, Angel, David, Paul, Stanley, right? Right? This is how the elements are stored. Let's click next line. You observe now. You observe very carefully. It is stored in ascending order. Angel is the first one. Second one is the David. Third one is Mercy. Fourth one is the Paul. Anyway, Stanley is at the last only, right? So even if you add any other name, say for example, let me add Babu here, right? Let me add Babu at the last. Names dot add Babu, right? Or Bhuvaneshwari. Let's go for Bhuvaneshwari. There is a girl is attending with the name of Bhuvaneshwari. So let's run now. See, when you are adding Bhuvaneshwari, this is before sorting. After sorting, automatically what happens? Angel comes first, Bhuvaneshwari, David, Mercy, Paul, Stanley, right? It's very simple. What you are doing is simply you are calling collections.sort method. Collections, it is a predefined utility class. Who has written this class? The inventors of Java, right? People who developed Java software, right? Java programming language. They only written the logic. So what we are going to do? We are going to simply make use of the predefined methods. If you observe our slide, now if you go through, you will understand what is the benefit of this one, right? So if you observe here, it has lack of built-in methods, but collection API, we are going to make use of the built-in methods. Built-in method means already it got developed, right? So, and utility classes, say for example, collections class and the common operations like sorting, searching and all. Shall we go ahead? Please let me know. Shall we go ahead? What is our next topic? Search particular element in the array list, right? Search particular element in the array list, right? How to search particular element, whether the element is present or not. How to search. That's what we are going to see, right? It's a binary search, right? The only condition is for searching, right? For searching, first the array for searching, right? Binary search, right? For binary search, even in the data structure and algorithms, if you have gone through that subject or the topic, it should be array list should be sorted. This is the first condition, should be sorted. In sorted array list only you can perform binary search, correct? This is the number one condition it is needed. You can perform binary search, but only one condition is the array list should be sorted. Okay, let's go with the same program, right? Same program. I don't want to create newer one, right? So already if you observe, we called collections dot sort, right? Array list is sorted. Now we are going to find whether particular element is present or not, correct? Whether particular element is present or not, right? So what we are going to do, it's simple. Again, if you go to collections class, there is a method called binary search. See here, there is a method called binary search, right? What it does? Simple. Searches specified list for the specified object using binary search algorithm. So what it says is, hey, whatever element you are trying to search, that element, this method will do it by using binary search algorithm, right? How to do it? Simple. What we are going to do? Again, we are going to call collections. Which class? This method is available inside collections class, right? What is the method name? Binary search. See the editor, you no need to type completely. When you type binary search BI, automatically the list pops up. This is the benefit of using IDEs. That is why in the very beginning I said, in our software industry, in our real-time application, we mostly, we use, IDs, because thousands of lines will be there in our each Java file. And again, there will be hundreds of files, right? Java files, images, JavaScript, CSS, many files will be there. So we cannot manage it, right? And you will get pop-up help as well, right? Like this. Let's go with binary search, right? Now what it asks, it expecting two arguments, right? What are the two arguments? First argument is simple. First argument is in which list you want to search. There can be many lists, right? I want to search in this list, right? In this list, array list, there can be many array list, numbers, names, many array list. So I want to search from this element, this array list. So what is the next parameter? What you want to search? What you want to search, right? What you want to search? I want to search a value, right? Say for example 400, right? That's all. So what I'm going to do is simple. I want to search 400 inside this array list. Just tell me whether this element is present or not. What is the return type of this binary search? It is collection type, right? Here it is a integer type, so we will store it as integer array type, right? Integer, say for example number, right? You can give any name, right? Let's give n1. Okay, no need to confuse with number. Now what I'm going to do, again I'm going to print n1, right? So let me run it in debug mode. Listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. So what we are doing is simple. We are creating an array list. We are adding multiple elements. Then the main condition is we need to sort the array list. That is the number one condition we have seen, right? Binary search can be performed in sorted list, right? Let's run again. Array list is sorted. Now we can perform binary search. Let's run. See what it gives? It gives the index. Listen very carefully. What we are searching? We are searching 400. So this is the sorted list. Index starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. It gives, hey, at number third index, right, you will see this 400, right? So what I'm going to do? I'm going to print searching number, right? The number, what is the number? If you want, you can print one more also, int, say for example, x equal to 400, right? That 400 only you are going to search. So what I'm going to search? I'm going to search x. So same x only I am passing, right? Instead of hard coding, I am passing the variable, right? Simple. So same thing only what I am doing is simple, right? Very simple, right? If you feel difficult, then it's okay. I can directly put 400 only, nothing wrong, right? So what we are doing is we are just printing, right? Very simple. So search number is 400. Where the 400 is available? 0, 1, 2, 3. It returns the index, right? It returns the index. What is the return type? See here, return type, right? Return type is, let's go to the method. Return type of binary search. Return type is, what is the index, right? See, returns the index of the search key. This is the documentation they are giving. This method return type is whatever search key, whatever element you are searching, that index, right? If it is coming positive, it means the number is available. Let's go and search the second element, right? Let's go and search the second element, right? Let me print again, right? Let me print again. This time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to search 200, right? Second time we are going to search 200, right? Right? Same I am printing it here, right? Right, simple. Let's run the program number. Let's run the program. If you observe, first time you are searching 400. 0, 1, 2, 3. Now you are searching 200. 0, 1. Right? It returns the index. Let me go with this program. Similar way, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to copy paste, right? I'm going to copy paste, right? Same code I'm going to copy paste. Control copy and paste it here, right? Copy here and paste it here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to search whether particular name is present or not. I'm going to search name is Mercy, right? Our educational company name is Mercy. So same thing we are going to search whether Mercy is available or not, right? Whether Mercy is available or not, right? The reference name here it is names, right? It's very simple. Now let's run it here. Let's run. Very simple. See what you are doing. First you are sorting the array list object, right? Array list you are sorting. Then you are searching where Mercy is there. 0, 1, 2, 3. Mercy is available in third position. Let's search Angel also. Let's search Angel as well, right? Let's search Angel, right? Angel, right? And let's search Stanley also. Stanley, right? Let's search Stanley. Let's run now. So we cannot declare duplicate variables. Let me remove the data type so that value will be reassigned, right? Let's run this program again. Very simple, right? First time you are searching Mercy. 0, 1, 2, 3. It returns third index. You are searching Angel. Where is Angel is available? In 0th index, right? If Stanley means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stanley is available at the 5th index, right? Consider you are searching an element which is not at all present, right? You are searching particular object. If it is available, it returns the index. Consider I am searching Kavya, right? Kavya. I want to know Kavya is present or not. Kavya is not present. So what you will get? Simple. You will get minus value. If you get minus value, it means you no need to worry about the number. It means the particular object or element is not available. If you get positive value with the index, then that is available. Correct? If minus value it returns any minus numbers, it means that element itself not available, correct? So then you can put some logic as well, right? Right? If the n1 is a negative type, right? Then what you can do, you can say this number is not, this name is not available, right? Clear 100%? It's very, very simple. You can perform binary search. If you don't perform sorting, let me go with this. Consider like, I'm going with only one method, right? Now, if you print, you will get the correct value. 400 is available in the third index. Consider you are not sorting. Let me delete this number. Let me delete this. I deleted this. Now if you run this program, you will get minus. It means this is really not possible. Binary search can be performed. 400 is there, right? But it does not know where it is there. It needs to find out. So for that purpose, it is always the number one condition is it should be sorted first. Let's me go back again, Control Z. See, first we need to sort. On sorted array list only we can perform binary search. Number one condition in interview, if you go and attend as a fresher or even experience, they will ask you, hey, can you write a program, Java program to sort, different types of string objects, right? Then quickly you can write, right? Then they can ask you, hey, can you write a program, to search, to perform binary search, right? Then you really no need to worry. What you need to worry is simple, only to know how to call, what is the first condition, you need to sort. Then you call collections dot sort. Then what is the second condition, again you need to pass, right? Only this much line, if you know it, then they are very sure that you know the concept, you are very good in hands on, right? This is what industry expects, right? Even in my current organization, I often takes interviews, right? Freshers, experienced candidates and all. So what we do is we will not ask what is inheritance, what is polymorphism, what is class, right? Generally, I don't ask like that. What I ask is, hey, can you write a small program, code snippet, you know, initializing, different instance variables, right? Then we of course know that for initializing purpose means constructor is used. Then if they started writing, then they should know what is class and object, what is constructor, how to initialize, right? So if they are aware, it means they are good in coding. So they are good in concepts, right? So when you are hunting for any interviews, right? It is not, good simply, memorizing or, you know, mugging up of different concepts. Instead, you need to know very in-depth, hands-on coding. You should be comfortable in writing coding, right? Software industry is experts, the expectation of software industry is whether you are comfortable in writing code or not, right? If you are comfortable writing code means you should know the concepts, everything in and out, right? So we will see further. So what is our next topic? How to find maximum element, right? We have seen first program how to sort the elements, how to search particular element, whether array is present or not. If it present, it will return positive values. If does not present, it return minus value. Only condition is it should be sorted list. Then third one is how to find the bigger element or maximum element, right? How to find maximum element or bigger element, both are same, right? Again, it is simple. I am not going to create new class. Let me, you know, make use of same class. I am deleting everything, right? I am just deleting everything, right? And I am seeing I want to find out the bigger element. What is the bigger element in this array list? We all know that 500, right? Again, inside collections class, right? Inside collections class, there is a method already defined, right? Inside collections class, let's go with max method. See, this method, you just call this method. What this method does? What this method does? Returns the maximum element of a given collection. It says, hey, what is the highest value, most bigger value it returns. How I can print? Just call collections dot max. Provide the list, which array list you want to, from which array list you want to find. There can be many type of array list. If I call this method, returns the maximum element of the given list. Same documentation we are seeing. So you store the element also, int element, right? You can give any name. It's a variable name, right? So let me print the variable name, right? Let me print the variable name, right? Let's run this program. It's very, very simple. See, you have defined one array list. When you are calling collections.max, right? Same thing we are printing, right? Bigger element or maximum element, right? Bigger element or maximum element, right? Let's run this. See, bigger element is 500. Let's add one more element. Say for example 1000, right? Let's add one more element 1000. Let's run. Okay, when I run, see the maximum element is 1000, correct? The maximum element is 1000. In case if I add 2000, right? If I add 2000, the maximum biggest element is 2000. The result should change, right? The result should change, correct? So it's very, very simple. That's what I said. Developer job is very simple. You no need to write boilerplate codes, right? Repeated codes you no need to write. Common codes they have defined. If you want to write customized logic, then that you can write it, right? Similar way, what I'm going to do, I'm going to develop inside this class, right? Let me delete everything, right? Now, if you see the return type, here it is names. If it is string type, it is a string type, right? If it is integer data type, it is integer type. Let me change the data type string here. Let's run this, right? It gives very simple, right? Which is having the bigger element means here, which is having the last one after sorting. So alphabet wise, Stanley is the comes at the last, right? Max element means it prints something like this, right? Are you clear? Can you please reply whether you are clear or not? If you have any questions, I can help you, right? If you have any questions, clear, sir. Okay, thanks for your replies. I see many replies, right? I see many replies. Perfect. Now, what is our next one? How to find the smaller element, right? How to find the smaller element. Again, it is very, very simple. Inside collection class, similar way we add max method, right? Similar way there is a method called min method. See guys, there is a method called min method. That min method does what it does is control O. There is a method called min method. This is used to find the very smallest element. Returns the minimum element of the given list according to natural ordering, right? According to natural ordering, correct? So what I'm going to do, again I'm going to change same thing, right? What I'm going to do, instead of disturbing again, I'm going to print something like this. Big element, right? Big element, right? Now I'm going to make use of same thing. Collections dot. Let me print some delimiter as well. I'm just printing some delimiter. You know, collections dot call min method. So again supply the array list type, right? Array list reference type, right? Again, what is the return type? If the array list is a integer type, then it is integer type, right? I can print something like this, right? It should be meaningful name, right? If it is a bigger element, it's a big element. If it is a smaller element, it is small element, right? So the reference variable, again, I am printing something like this, right? So what I am doing is I am printing, it's a small element, right? Very, very simple, right? Very, very simple. You call collections.min. What this min method does? Returns the minimum element of the given collection according to the natural ordering of its element. See, again, if you go and see what it does is, it might be, it goes for sorting, right? Internally, if you go and see the logic, I think, right? Might be, if you observe, right? Where is the method? Let's go and see min method definition. This also defined, right? What they done? They are iterating, blah 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 things they are doing. So might be, the main definition of this is, you know, in the natural ordering, right? Similar way, it returns the minimum element. Let's run this program and see what is the output. I am finding the maximum element as well as I am finding the minimum element. Two things I am doing here. See, bigger element is 2000, right? Smaller element is 100. Let's modify into 15. Now if you observe, the smallest element is 15. The result should we get is 15, right? Let's run this. See, the smaller element is 15, right? Similar way, let's go and modify in the string type objects, right? So what we are doing is, again it is simple, right? Again what we are doing is simple, right? So the big element is, this is what we do, right? This is the small element, sorry, right? Again, instead of developing everything, what I do, I just copy pasted, right? What I am doing is simple, very simple, right? From the logic, very, very simple. I am calling collections dot max, collections dot min, right? Collections dot max, collections dot min. Let's run it in debug mode. Let's run it in debug mode. Let's observe this program line by line. I am creating a new array list, adding multiple names, right? Printing. See, Mercy, Angel, David, Paul, Stanley, Boneshwari. Now I am calling max method. What it returns? Maximum is Stanley. As per ascending order, right? The last element is Stanley, right? That is the definition. It does based on natural ordering of its elements, right? And what is the minimum element? Simple. What is the minimum element? The first element is Angel, right? So this is how the min and max it works, right? So what we have done, we have developed many programs, I think around 7 to 8 programs, right? We have seen 7 to 8 programs. First one is, we will go with roundup, right? So we will go like what we have seen, right? So what we have seen, so today we have seen as part of array list, we have seen, why we are going for array list. So if at all you want to understand array list, why the array list comes into picture, because previous topic, that is arrays, has some limitations, some drawbacks. So we have seen introduction about arrays. Again, before arrays, we seen like why we need arrays to store multiple values. So again, we have seen one hello world program, how the variable works. Then we have seen about introduction about arrays. We have developed some program. What are the disadvantages? Then what are the advantages and benefits of array list, right? So we are saying like arrays, it is used to store multiple values and only homogeneous similar data type it can store. Main drawback is it is having fixed size, right? Once the size is defined in arrays, we cannot increase or decrease. But if you go with collection API, that is array list, right? So automatically, you know the size will be increased when you are adding more and more values, as well as the size will be decreased when you are trying to remove more and more values, right? And we have seen, now you will be understanding very easily, right? See, lack of built-in methods. What is meant by built-in methods? Again, finding minimum, finding maximum, binary search, sort, all these are built-in methods, right? So our job is very easy, right? So collection API and array list, which are, provides many inbuilt methods like sorting, searching, shuffling, finding the minimum, finding the maximum, many inbuilt methods. And again, one more thing we have seen is, it has very basic data structure, whereas in collection API, it has many thing, right? And we have seen that, advantages of, this one array list is, we can easily, it can grow and shrink automatically and dynamically, right? and we can easily use it, right? It provides many convenient methods, right, to perform some common operations like adding, removing, accessing elements, and for finding, searching, modifying, right? So you can try it. It has many inbuilt methods. That's what we are seeing. So this is what we have seen, and we have seen few programs like how to create an array list, how to add elements, after adding how to display array list objects. Then we have seen how to sort, how to perform sort. Again we have seen like how to perform integer type element sorting. Then we have seen like how to sort string type objects array list. Then we have seen like how to find particular element, whether it is present or not. If it presents, it gives index in positive number, right? If it is not, if does not provide, if does not present, then it gives negative numbers. If it gives negative index, means that element is not available in the list. Searching operation is failed, right? Where it is not available. If it is available, it gives the positive number with the index number. Then we have seen how to find maximum or bigger element in the array list, right? And we have seen how to find the smaller element, right? So these are the things we have seen in today's session.